Hello, I'm Greg. Today we're going to be doing a stretching workout that's going to be beginner friendly. We're going to focus on the major muscle groups in the legs. So we're going to be doing 5 stretches that will do a combination of the hips and knees, working a lot of the major muscles at those 2 joints. So what we're going to be doing today is a combination of static stretching and dynamic stretching. Now, if you haven't heard of those, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll explain as we go. Static stretching is probably more what you're used to with stretching, where you hold a position and that's where you get the stretch. Dynamic stretching is where we move through a stretching position, where we stay in motion. That doesn't make sense? Don't worry, it'll be really easy to follow along. So we're going to start out right into a dynamic stretch called a pendulum swing. So this is going to be stretching the front and back of your thighs. It's also a really good warm-up exercise for any sort of lower body exercise because it uses all the major muscles. So what you're going to do is, standing in a door frame or something sturdy you can hang on to, you're going to take your leg and swing it forward and back just like a pendulum. So with this one, as you go forward, we're stretching the glutes and the hamstrings. And as you go backwards, we're stretching the hip flexors and quads. So you don't want to arch your back as you're doing this. Try and just swing your leg, keeping your upper body upright. This is a dynamic stretching where we're not holding in either position. We're just going up to a stretch and then back the other way. So we're going to do 15 of those. So now we're going to stretch the quads in a static stretch. So what we're going to do, still using something for support, you're going to reach around and grab your ankle and then pull your heel up to the back, feeling a stretch in the front of the thigh. These are the muscles that straighten your knee. So we're going to bend the knee to stretch them. So pulling up into the back. Now on this one, the further forward your knee is, the less of a stretch you're going to get. And the more you pull it back, the more of a stretch you're going to get. So if you really bring your knee back, it will increase that stretch. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. And now we just stretched the front of the thigh, so now we're going to stretch the back. You're going to lay down on your back. We're going to be stretching the hamstrings, which run along the back of your thigh. This is going to be a dynamic stretch, so we're going to move through the stretch. So our starting position is going to be grabbing underneath the thigh with both hands. We're stretching this leg in the back. From here, you're going to kick your foot out to the front as straight as you can get it, and then back down. We're going to do 12 of these together. So kicking out till you feel a stretch, and then back down. If it's too intense, you can always bring your leg a little bit down for the kick out. Or if it's too easy, you can bring it a little higher. It'll increase that stretch. So now we're going to stretch the muscles on the inside of the thigh. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into a kneeling position and then put one leg out to the side, out straight. This is the leg we're going to be stretching the inside of. So from here, what you're going to do is sit back towards your heel till you feel a stretch on the inner part of your thigh. These muscles run all the way from the base of the hips down into the right on the inside of the knee. So you're going to sit down at the back. We're doing a static stretch, so we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. We just stretched the inside. Now what we're going to do is stretch the outside of the hips. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand in a door frame or any place you have somewhere stable to hang on to. We're going to be stretching this inside hip. So what you're going to do is step over and across in front of it. And then from here, you're going to push your hips in towards the door frame, feeling a stretch on the inner hip, right about where your pocket is, right where your pant pocket would be. And that muscle right there. And this one we're going to be holding for 30 seconds. All right, so that is all the major directions of the hip, at least in the forward and back, left to right. So what I would do is if any of those especially felt tight to you, I'd try and do those daily, either morning or evening. Pick a time that works for you and make sure to get that stretch in, because with stretching, it's not so much doing it one big stretch all at once. It's a lot of small 30-second stretch, 30 seconds a day stretching that will make more of a difference for that muscle. So if you can do it first thing in the morning or first thing before you go, or last thing before you go to bed, that's going to be what's going to help you build flexibility in that muscle. Wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it right before working out. That's why I say morning or evening usually are the better times. So hopefully you learned something, and I will see you guys next time.